A Gold Star mother reflects on her son's sacrifice.
Estonia welcomes members of 1st Brigade.
And see who won the 3rd Infantry Division's basketball title game.
Welcome to this week's Marne Report. I'm Kaylin Kenny.
And I'm Sergeant Joshua Latiker with 4th Brigade Public Affairs. Sometimes it's all about being at the right place at the right time. On a routine assignment gathering video on Warriors Walk, photojournalist Zach Brinstrom met Joyce Ward, a Gold Star mother whose son, Staff Sergeant Chris Ward, was killed in Afghanistan in 2013. April 6th marked the 2-year anniversary of his death. Zach had a chance to sit down with Joyce, her family, and the soldiers her son served with as they reflected on this somber occasion.
Christopher was my oldest son. He was killed 2 weeks before his 25th birthday. So the 20th of this month, he would have been 27. Chris was a very lively person. There wasn't anyone who did not like him. He was always harder on himself than he was on the guys that he guided or led. But he expected the very best out of them, just like he did himself.
Not a moment goes by that, we don't remember her or her son. They made the ultimate sacrifice just as well as their family members did. I mean, this isn't something that goes away after time. I mean, Miss Ward, she'll never have her son back. So I mean, it's important she knows that we're here for her every day of every year, no matter how much time passes.
This is sort of like a place that I could go to besides my house, where I could be alone, to talk with him. I just want to show him that he's not physically here for the holidays and all, and that I think so much of him that I bring the holidays to him.
He's done more than what any of us could do. He's patriotic, and he really shows America as their best. If we didn't have these guys, then what would we have? To me, it's a straight answer, is that there's people out there that want different things, and we have men like my brother who think differently. We should have freedom.
At least cause you to pause and really reflect on the sacrifice that you made, knowing that you lost a brother in arms. And it's an incredible honor. I've never done anything in my career that meant more to me than what I was able to do for the Ward family. For me personally, I really connected with Joyce, Chris's mother, over the ordeal, and I saw it as kind of an obligation to show her my continual support for as long as it takes, because she didn't just lose him for one day, she lost him for a lifetime. I see it as almost an ongoing mission to continually give her the support and help that she needs, and that's what I do.
We gave up, we sacrificed our family member to fight for our freedom. And I just think it's very important that people show their admiration, their respect, and all, saying, hey, we have not forgotten you and what you have lost.
The 3rd Infantry Division's Stavardi hosted a Holocaust Remembrance ceremony April 8th at Club Stewart's main ballroom. Learning from the Holocaust, choosing to act was this year's theme for the observance. The keynote speaker was Melinda Stein, whose family members were murdered in the Holocaust. Stein shared with the audience her personal stories of loss and sacrifice. Photojournalist Zach Brinstrom has more.
Wir in der Partei durch unser aller Zutun die höchste Verkörperung.
The Holocaust was the systematic, bureaucratic persecution and murder of 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany and their collaborators as a central act of state-sponsored terrorism during the Second World War. It is a crime unique in the annals of human history, different not only in the quantity of violence but in its manner and purpose as a mass criminal enterprise organized by the state against a defenseless civilian population.
It's important for people to remember the past and to learn from that for the future. As far as me personally, my family was intimately affected by the Holocaust, and I feel it's a mission of mine to share their stories with others. I come from 2 Polish people. The history of our family goes back Poland about 1,000 years, so they lived there a very long time, and they were part and parcel of the Polish people. My father managed to fight the Nazis during the war. My mother was a slave laborer. that worked for a German munitions company during the war.
In the years following the defeat of Nazi Germany and the establishment of the Jewish state in Israel, the Israeli Knesset, through legal proclamation, declared a day of observance for the millions of victims beginning in 1953.
As an armed force defending the United States, I think it should be of interest to them how other armed forces behaved in the past and what some soldiers did in the name of duty. That's something everyone needs to keep in mind. Also to learn that a man or a person with a weapon can do atrocious things or very good things. And the theme, learning about the Holocaust, choosing to act, is very resonant because each one of us has the power to choose to act in a good way or in a wrong way.
Now, as we light the candles of remembrance, I ask that you remember all of the victims of the Holocaust and other atrocities. Much like a candle's flame, the human spirit radiates the light of its creator. As we look at these candles today, try to imagine 6 million candles, each representing another person. Each candle would signify a unique and precious soul, a person who struggled and yet had hope, a person who was a part of a family, an orphan, a widow or widower, a person who worked, studied, took walks, and who partook in all the ordinary things in life. They celebrated births and weddings, and mourned at funerals. All were part of the Jewish people, but each one was separate individual. Each one suffered. Each and every one was murdered. We light the first candle for all the women twice victimized and finally murdered by the Nazis, for their lives of the grandmothers, mothers, and their daughters, snuffed out by evil and indifference. We light the second candle for all those who resisted in spirit, with thought and prayer, who resisted through violence, by force of arms, who were willing to risk all in the face of insurmountable odds. We light the third candle for the more than 1,500,000 children slaughtered by Nazis, young people who had no sin, who did no wrong. We light a seventh candle for the empathizers among us, those who continue to stand up to tyranny through their words, art, and actions.
The importance of the Holocaust observance, I think fundamentally is one, remembrance, and two, it allows us an opportunity to pause out of our busy days, busy lives, and reflect. And in that reflection, hopefully it causes us to challenge some of our own assumptions and prejudices, and ultimately make us just better people for it. The only thing necessary for evil to exist is for good men to stand by and watch and do nothing.
Fear's a strong weapon because it provides you with control. If you can make someone fear you, you can control them, you have power over them. So many German people that were good people, basically, were so afraid of Hitler and the Nazis that they allowed him to take them by the hand almost to murdering and doing horrible atrocities to people. And we have to understand that we should not allow someone to let fear and control rule the day.
Atlantic Resolve Estonia held a welcome ceremony for 2nd Battalion, 7th Infantry Regiment, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, March 31st. According to the U.S. Embassy Tallinn, Estonia Facebook page, the soldiers are the latest to come to Tapa for training under Operation Atlantic Resolve.
Listen up, soldiers. This is going to be a 40 weekend that is well deserved. I want everyone to enjoy themselves. If you drink, do not drive. You have heard me state my zero tolerance policy about this kind of thing before.
Sergeant Zero, pay attention. This is important. Drunk driver rules are Article 15. Am I understood?
Roger, Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major's right. I don't want to give anyone another Article 15 on Monday. Company attention. Dismissed. Hey, Zero, ready to drive? Yeah, we only had a few. You sure? Yeah.
He's just buzzed. He'll be fine.
Whatever do you see at PT on Monday.
How you doing, sir? Sergeant Evans, Fort Stewart Military Police. Let me see your license, registration, proof of insurance. All right, so you've been drinking tonight?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Okay, well, let me go back to the car, run your license, and I'll be right back. All right, sir, could you go ahead and step out of the vehicle? I'm going to place you on apprehension for suspected DUI. All right. Place your hands on your back.
Sergeant Zero, after looking at all the evidence presented to me, I find you guilty of driving while intoxicated. I take this matter very seriously, as you could have injured yourself or other innocent people. Your counseling file indicates you signed the Marne Pledge, and you were briefed on the consequences of driving while intoxicated, yet you chose to make a childlike decision to do so. Do you have anything to say before I decide your punishment?
No, ma'am.
You're dismissed. Wait outside. Sergeant Zero, I sentence you to 45 days extra duty, 45 days restriction, reduction in rank to E1, forfeiture of a half month's pay for 2 months, and I'm recommending you be chaptered out of the Army as a rehab failure.
Step back.
The safety of the community is important to Team Stewart. In the month of March, there was a total of 13 DUIs and third ID.
This April, help reduce the number of DUIs and third ID. We can all do better looking out for our fellow soldiers. Have some Marne pride, don't drink and drive.
Coming up on the Marne Report, this upcoming event is for all you brides out there.
It's important for you and your spouse or partner to get on the same page and talk about what you want to do with your child if they act up. Just so you guys know what you want to do together and don't fight about it.
I would say the best advice to give any parent is when your baby is crying, don't stress out about it. Take time to yourself. If you can't calm the baby down, set the baby down and go do something else.
The best parenting advice I can give is be present, be available for your children when they need you. Make sure that we're here for very short time periods between deployments and training. That be there for them, listen to them, hear what they got to say, and remember they're people too.
Welcome back to the Marne Report. Are you looking for some fun things to do with your family? Then let's check in with Molly Cook, who is here to give us a look at an upcoming event. Hi, I'm Molly Cook, and this is your MWR Minute. If there's a wedding in your future, you won't want to miss the bridal event and expo at Club Stewart from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. on April 26th. The expo will be a one-stop place to meet with a wide range of professionals who can help reduce the stress that goes along with planning a wedding. Attendees will be able to preview the hottest trends in table design, flowers, cakes, catering, and decor, as well as learn about hair and beauty, jewelry, limousines, and fashion. The cost is $7 per person in advance, $10 at the door, and includes an elegant hors d'oeuvres buffet. In addition to the afternoon's exciting events, brides-to-be will be given swag bags and are invited to pre-register by April 24th at Club Stewart for an opportunity to receive a free wedding dress. A drawing will also be held for a $500 wedding reception gift certificate. For more information, please call 912-767-4717. To learn more about our upcoming events, visit us online at www.stewartmwr.com or www.huntermwr.com. FMWR, we're your complete destination for families, fun, and fitness. A women's and men's single-double elimination racquetball tournament will be held May 7th through the 9th at Newman Fitness Center and the Johnson Fitness Center. There is no charge, and participants are asked to register at either fitness center by April 27th. First and second place medals will be awarded in all divisions. For more details, call 912-767-3031.
To find out what's happening across Fort Stewart, Hunter Army Airfield, and Kelly Hill, we turn to the Frontline newspaper.
Let's check in with Martha Jackson for this week's news.
Everyone, I'm Martha Jackson with FMWR, standing in for Elvia Kelly, and I'll be giving you the latest details from the front line. For the April 9th edition, you can expect to see how the Marines partner with Hunter Army Airfield firefighters, see how controlled burns spark imagination, and check out the Soldier and Family Assistance Center get support from the local community. Hunter Army Airfield firefighters were suited up with fire hoses in hand when the large-looking shell of an aircraft, called a mobile aircraft firefighting training device, burst into flames on the Hunter tarmac. 3 active-duty Marines transported the MAFTD to Hunter and positioned it on the airfield, as 35 civilian firefighters at Hunter participated in 4 days of annual training on the $1.1 million state-of-the-art MAFTD owned by Marine Air Corps Station, Buford. Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield conducted its quarterly Environmental Quality Control Committee meeting April 2nd on Fort Stewart with approximately 100 soldiers and civilian employees in attendance. The installation made a special effort to explain how training, land management, and environmental stewardship was integrated into one effort by holding the event on the site of one of the installation's controlled burn. In line with promises from last year's event, the Old School Car Club returned this year to make another donation to help the soldiers and family members who utilize the Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield Soldier and Family Assistance Center. 4 members from the club presented a check for $1,000 to the SFAC director, Patricia Lanson-Paschal. The 23-member club, based in Savannah, Georgia, is a diverse group of active duty and retired soldiers, teachers, businessmen, and others. Each year, the Old School Car Club hosts a car show, and some of the proceeds from the show go towards organizations like the SFAC. Join us on the Marne Report to catch the most current news and events found in the front line across Fort Stewart, Hunter Army Airfield, and online at our Team Stewart website at stewartfrontline.com.
Coming up, we will see who took home the 3rd Infantry Division's basketball title.
Be supportive, let them know you love them, always support their decisions, whether it's good or bad, and just always be there for them.
My good parenting advice is don't make your kids grow up faster than they have to. It'll cause a lot more issues when they get older.
Just be consistent in a child's life at an early age, and remember to be patient when problems do arise.
Personal experience I had is I was a young soldier coming up. Me and my wife lost a baby. Well, when you lose a baby, there's, of course, financial obligations that are tied to that. You have to make burial arrangements. Well, my command sent me over to AER. They sat me down with the counselor, and the counselor said, here's a check. Go take care of what you need to take care of, and don't worry about paying it back. It's a grant to you, and we are so sorry for your loss. I share my story with my soldiers. Hey, this is what AER did for me when I was a young soldier.
The purpose of Army Emergency Relief is to provide financial assistance to soldiers and families. Since 2008, we have provided $80 million a year. Since 9/11, we have provided almost $600 million.
One of the biggest stressors in life is finances, is money. And that's where AER can provide that assistance. They can take away that financial worry from soldiers. I've never had one soldier come back disapproved.
I was recently separated. I had 4 children to support, and my Army Emergency Relief counselor advised that I should apply for the loan to get assistance to pay the bills that I needed, housing allowance, child care, and the other bills in order to keep myself on track. Then it came time where I needed AER, and I had to do research, and I thank God for the people that were there to provide the assistance to let me know and educate me that AER is available to reserve soldiers who are Title 10 over 30 days. So I spoke to my commander. We went over and spoke with a financial counselor, and she is also the Army Emergency Relief representative. And at the end of the day, I was able to get the money that I needed to pay the bills that I needed to help with child care and my housing allowance, and to get everything caught up.
Army Emergency Relief is truly a commander's program. From company commanders and first sergeants all the way through the garrison commanders and garrison command sergeants major, they are all dedicated to ensuring that soldiers' financial needs are met.
There's something good about engaged leaders that take the time to make soldiers aware of the program, like AER. And knowing that you can go to someone you can trust is huge. You can't put a premium on being able to go somewhere and be well cared for, understood, and actually helped.
I was in Germany, newly married, got orders to come to Fort Bragg. When I finally got here, she had to stay in Germany, so I came by myself, ended up getting an apartment, taking care of everything by myself, you know, the deposits, your utilities, everything. I was putting that on my back, making all the payments. Things got a little tough, so I talked to my squad leader. We went down to AER, me and my squad leader, talked with a gentleman here at AER. We talked about how am I spending money, like how am my rent, my car, my utilities, how am I doing that? Am I saving money? Kind of gave me some mentorship while I was there. And then said $1,000 was good. I said, yes, sir. Signed the check, and I was good to go.
When I first joined the Guard, I never heard of AER. It was another one of those many acronyms I never heard of. So I ran into some financial difficulties. Car broke down, had some house payments I needed to make, and one thing just led into another, and it snowballed, and couldn't get back and forth to work. I spoke to my sergeant. He suggested AER. I didn't think I was even eligible because I was a guardsman, but after I spoke to the AER representative, she told me that I was on orders for over 30 days and I was a Title 10, so I had no problem. But after I sat down with the AER rep, I was in and out of there in 15 minutes with a check in hand.
It's a toolkit for commanders, and it helps soldiers who are struggling. They have a mission, and it keeps their mind on the mission. It makes sure that they know that, hey, my family is taken care of. I can go to work today and concentrate on what's in front of me. Taking care of your families can spread in many different directions, and that's where I think AER probably gets it the best. And you know, we always bring up, like, hey, if you need help for your family, there is no shame in asking for help. Raise your hand if you need help for your family. Nobody in this Army who's a leader will turn away from you.
Army Emergency Relief has helped our soldiers and families since 1942. The financial assistance provided by AER truly enables soldiers to better focus on their mission, because they know that if there's an emergency, AER will be there to help. Over the last 30 years that I've been in the Army, I've had dozens of soldiers turn to AER for help. Without fail, if the need was there, AER gave them the support.
When I was active duty, I had a steady paycheck. I really didn't need AER.
But once I'd retired, obviously, you know, you lose that paycheck. Unless you can secure a real high-paying job on the outside, you're not doing as well. And, you know, push come to shove, and had a family emergency, dwindled on some on my money, and I found myself needing AER. And I remembered from preaching to my soldiers years and years ago, you know, go check out AER, you know, they'll help you out. So I went up there. It was very expedient, very professional. AER took care of me, and I was treated just as if I was still a green shooter. So it all worked out. It was great service.
Both my parents were in the Army. I'm studying psychology, and I want to become a psychologist.
She will be the first one, you know, in our family that will graduate from college.
AER has kind of helped to make that happen. Oh, when I got the letter in the mail that I'd gotten the scholarship, I was very excited for one, and then I saw the amount of money that it was, and it just blew my mind. I was like, wow. It's nice to know that people actually take interest in what I'm trying to do with my life and care enough to finance it for me when I can't. It's an awesome feeling.
AER has been a blessing. Because of the AER scholarship, she was able to start her college education, to see it start and to see it finish. AER, it made the journey possible.
Welcome back. In this week's Task Force Fitness, Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield intramural basketball team champions competed in the 3rd Infantry Division's basketball title game at Tominac Fitness Center. Let's see what happened.
The score in the annual bragging rights game at Tominac Fitness Center, featuring the 3rd Sustainment Brigade, Fort Stewart's intramural champions, and 224 Military Intelligence Battalion, Hunter Army Airfield's champs, was tied at 57-57 with 51 seconds to play. Seconds earlier, Baker's long three-point shot from the top of the key hit the rim and bounced left. Fortunately for Baker, he would get another chance to put his 3rd Sustainment Brigade team ahead in the tightly contested game.
We actually didn't anticipate the game being so close because we normally have a good spread on teams. So actually kind of, you know, we had to dig deep and really pound it at the end.
1, 2, 3. After a timeout, 224 Military Intelligence Battalion rushed up the court but turned the ball over. Sustainment Brigade's Elijah Tanksley took a long pass and slammed home a resounding dunk to clinch the 64-57 victory, much to the delight of the large 3rd Sustainment Brigade fan base.
Our point guard, Staff Sergeant Trigger, he was doing real good, and the major, he was doing real good. So once they opened it up, it gave no chance to dunk a few times and score a couple more points.
As the ball fell to the floor, the hopes of the 224 Military Intelligence team running the table on the 2015 basketball season came to an end.
We didn't finish. We won posts. We won the Hunter Armstrong Championship, but the 3rd ID Championship is what we really wanted. So we didn't finish. So that right there alone should be enough momentum for us to come back next year and do it again.
The Sustainment Brigade, all the support personnel, you got all the, you know, all the tankers, the infantry guys, and all that. So the BCTs is kind of normally known for like a little bit of their toughness. So to come back and take trophies in these different sports, I mean, it's great for the Sustainment Brigade. You know, all of the rock providers, we here. We came, we conquered, and we're going back home.
That's all for this week's Marne Report.
You can watch the Marne Report in the morning at 5, 5:30, and 8 and 8:30, noon, and in the evening at 5 and 5:30, 9 and 11. Or, as always, check us out on the web at stewart.army.mil and subscribe to the 3rd ID YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. Have a great week. Rock of the Marne!